Hello guys, I am Satyam and you are here on our one and all lovely channel Satyam Ideal Learning. And guys, our today's topic is very much important as well as it is very much interesting also. It is about ecosystem. So we will be discussing about a new chapter of ecosystem. We have already discussed about reproduction in plants and animals. Those who have not watched my lectures, you can watch it. They are there on the YouTube channel Satyam Ideal Learning. And now, today in this lecture, we will be discussing about what is environment, what is ecosystem, what is habitat, what is biome, what is biosphere, and what are the ecosystem parts in which it is divided. Okay, and abiotic and biotic component also. Clear this thing? Now, environment. At the very first, we will be discussing about environment. I have underlined also. Environment of living being means all the non-living things and the living being surrounding it. So, what is the environment of a living being? For example, I am a living being. Now, what is my environment? So, my environment is the non-living things which are surrounding me and the living beings which are surrounding me. That is my environment. Okay, so the environment of living being means all non-living things and the living being surrounding it. Clear this thing? Now, we will be discussing about habitat. We say another term. We use another term to describe the environment, the surrounding of an organism. So there is another term which is used to describe the surrounding of an organism which is known as habitat. Now what is habitat? Now let's discuss about the habitat. So what is the definition? Habitat is the place in which an organism lives. Okay, so habitat is a place in which an organism lives with all the characteristics like the climate, the soil, the animals, the plants. Okay, these are the characteristics in which an organism lives. Okay, so what is the habitat now? Habitat is a place in which an organism lives with all the characteristics like climate, soil, plants and animals. This makes the habitat of an organism. We say like desert habitat, forest habitat. No, we say like this way. No. So these are the habitats. So forest habitat of an organism. So an organism can live in a forest. Then we say an organism can live in a forest habitat. An organism can live in a desert habitat. Now we will be coming about the ecosystem. First of all, how the living being exists. So the living being exists by interacting with the other living beings and the other non-living things. Okay, so a living being exists by interacting with the other non-living things and the other living beings. Clear this thing, guys? Now we'll be discussing about ecosystem. Now what is ecosystem? Definition arises like this way. Members of a community of living beings. Members, there are many members of a community of living beings. It can be microorganisms, it can be human beings, okay? It can be plants. So, the members of a community of living beings in a given area, in a particular area, in a given area, interact with each other. So, the members will interact with each other and non-living components of the area, so they will interact with each other as well as the non-living component of the area, of that area, to form a self-sustaining system. To form what? To form a self-sustaining system. So they can survive in that place. Okay, for that the self-sustaining system is necessary. So to form a self-sustaining system, that is known as what? Ecosystem. So members of a community of living beings in a given area interact with each other, and non-living components of that area is called to form a self-sustaining system is known as what? Ecosystem. Clear guys this thing? And the study of the ecosystem is known as ecology. Eco from ecosystem comes, and logy, logos, it means study. So the study of ecosystem is known as ecology. I think this thing you have been cleared very crystal clear. Now we will be discussing about the ecosystem divisions, how the ecosystem has been divided. Ecosystem may be very large, ecosystem may be very small. So ecosystem is divided into major two types. Ecosystem is divided into major two types. Now what are these two types? Aquatic and terrestrial ecosystem. Aquatic and terrestrial ecosystem are the two types, are the two major types in which the ecosystem has been divided. Now what are these two? So the ecosystem which exists in the water body means oceans, lakes, rivers. So these are the water bodies. So the ecosystem which exists in water body, which like lakes, rivers, seas, oceans, these are the water body. So that is known as aquatic ecosystem. So the ecosystem which exists in water body is known as aquatic ecosystem. And the ecosystem which exists on land is known as terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, so the ecosystem which exists on land is known as what? Terrestrial ecosystem. Now what are the types of these two also? So the aquatic ecosystem is further divided into two types. So the aquatic ecosystem is further divided into two types. Now what are the two types? One is freshwater ecosystem and the other is marine ecosystem. Okay, so aquatic ecosystem is divided into two types. What are the two types? Freshwater ecosystem and marine ecosystem. Now the terrestrial ecosystem can be divided into four types. Now what are the four types? One is grassland ecosystem, other is mountain ecosystem, and the next is forest ecosystem, and the last one is desert ecosystem. Okay, so a desert ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem and the mountain ecosystem are the four types in which the terrestrial ecosystem can be divided. Now we will be coming to the biome, biosphere and biosphere. Okay, now see, several connected ecosystem in a large area of land or sea together is called what? Biome. Okay, so the several connected ecosystem in a large area of land or in a large area of sea together is called biome. I think this is clear, this definition is clear. And now how the biome is defined? So the biome is defined as per as the climatic condition and the soil condition of that region, and it is inhabited by the plants and animals so that they are adapted in that particular place. Okay, so the plants and animals by which the place is inhabited. The place is inhabited by plants and animals, and the place has the characteristics like the climate condition, the temperature, the soil condition. Okay, so the plants and animals are adapted so that they can have a sustainable life, so that they can survive in that particular condition, in that particular place. Okay, so that has been defined as biome. Okay, so biome is defined, I am repeating one more the definition. So biome is defined as per as the character, as per as the climate condition and the soil condition, and it is inhabited, the place is inhabited by plants and animals which are adapted to that particular place for having a self-sustaining system, for having so that they can survive in that particular place. Okay, in the particular place. Like there is a desert biome, we can say desert biome. So desert biome is also made up of many ecosystem. Means I am giving the example that desert biome is made up of two ecosystem. Now what are the two ecosystem? Oasis ecosystem and sand dune ecosystem. Okay, so a desert biome is made up of oasis and sand dune ecosystem. This is how biome are being made. Now all biomes together constitute the biosphere. Now all the biome will together constitute the biosphere. I think this is clear. All biome together constitute the biosphere. Now the parts of the earth's atmosphere, atmosphere means we are talking about the air. Hydrosphere means we are talking about the water. Lithosphere means we are talking about the earth's crust. So the parts of the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere together form the biosphere in which the living beings survive. Okay, so the living beings survive. So all the parts of the earth's atmosphere, biosphere, all the parts of the earth's atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere together in which the living organisms survive is known as biosphere. So all biomes together constitute the biosphere. Okay, I think this is clear to all of you guys. Now we are coming to another topic, abiotic and biotic component. We will be discussing about one more component. There is cultural component. Okay. Now non-living part of ecosystem constitute abiotic component. Okay. So non-living part of ecosystem constitute what? Abiotic component. For example, climate, soil, temperature. Okay, this comes under the abiotic component, and all organisms make a biotic component. So all the living organisms will make up the biotic component. Clear this thing, guys? And in the organisms, microorganisms comes, human beings come, plants come, animals come. These all things come in the biotic component. Now what is cultural component? Cultural component is different from that of abiotic and biotic component. Okay, so the cultural component is man-made. Man-made means man had made the cultural component. Now how? Cultural component is man-made. You have to remember this thing. And consists of effects. It consists of effects which are produced on environment. So the effects which are produced on environments, and that is man-made. The component which is man-made, and it consists of the effects which are produced by the human beings on environment by human activities such as growth of industries, etc. So I am repeating once more the definition. Cultural component is man-made and consists of effects which are produced on environment. Which are produced on where? Environment. By human activities. Such as the growth of industries and the agriculture. This is how this makes the cultural component. Okay. I think this thing you have been clear to all of you guys. So let me know in the comment section. And bye bye. We will meet in the next time very soon.